There is a town in Bavaria where, for nearly 50 years, people looked at your shoes before they spoke to you, not out of vanity, out of loyalty, because the shoes told them which of two brothers you belonged to. And in that town, that was the only question that mattered. Those two brothers built their first shoes together in their mother's laundry room. By the time they were finished with each other, they had built Adidas and Puma, split a town in half, and stopped speaking for the rest of their lives. It's usually blamed on one sentence, said in the dark during an air raid, and the truth is more complicated than that.
Herzogenaurach, 1924. A small town about 12 miles from Nuremberg. Rudolf Dassler, everyone called him Adi, is a young cobbler back from the First World War with an idea nobody's especially interested in, that athletes should have shoes built specifically for the thing they do. He works out of his mother's laundry room. There's no electricity for the machines at first, so the story goes that they pedaled a stationary bike to power the grinder. Adi is the quiet one. He is happiest with a shoe in his hands and a problem to solve, and he will stay that way his entire life. His older brother, Rudy, is the opposite. Loud, quick, charming, restless. He can sell anything to anyone. In 1924, the two of them formally register the company together, Gebrüder Dassler Schuhfabrik, Dassler Brothers Shoe Factory. And it works, because they are the perfect two halves of one business. Adi makes shoes that are genuinely better than anything else available. Rudy gets them onto the feet of people who win. By the early 30s, they're selling hundreds of thousands of pairs a year. They employ most of the town. Two brothers from a laundry room have built the largest sports shoe company in Germany. And then, the German government starts taking a very close interest in sport. The 1936 Olympics were designed as a propaganda exercise. Berlin, swastikas over the stadium. The whole thing built to demonstrate German superiority to a watching world. Adi Dassler saw a shoe opportunity. He drove to the Olympic Village with a bag of spiked running shoes and found the American sprinter Jesse Owens, a black athlete the German state had decided in advance was inferior, and offered him the shoes. Owens took them, and then he won the 100 meters, the 200 meters, the long jump, and the relay. 4 gold medals in front of Hitler in German shoes made by a German cobbler. It was the single greatest advertisement in the history of sportswear, and it happened by accident. Both brothers joined the Nazi Party. That is a fact, and it belongs in this story. They were businessmen in a dictatorship who benefited from proximity to it, and the same regime that made them would very shortly take everything away. Because in 1939, Germany went to war, and nobody needs running shoes in a war. The orders stopped. Leather was rationed. By late 1943, the government had seen what the Dassler factory really was, a large building full of machine tools, and requisitioned it. They stopped making shoes and started making Panzerschrecks, anti-tank rocket launchers. Rudy was drafted, and this is where the resentment starts, long before any sentence in any shelter, because Rudy came to believe that Adi had pulled strings to keep himself at home and get his brother sent away. Whether that's true has never been established. What matters is that Rudy believed it, and he was the kind of man who did not put a thing like that down. Then, one night, the air raid sirens go over Herzogenaurach. There is a concrete shelter near the factory. Rudy is already down there with his family when the door opens at the top of the steps, and Adi comes down with his wife, Katha. According to the story that has been told in that family ever since, Rudy looked up and said, "The pig dogs are back." He insisted, for the rest of his life, that he was talking about the bombers overhead. Adi never believed him for a second. And here is the thing about that sentence. It has become the whole explanation, and it almost certainly wasn't. It was the moment two men who already resented each other stopped pretending. Nobody ends a business over a joke about airplanes. They end it over years. The war finishes. American troops arrive in Herzogenaurach, and Rudi is arrested on suspicion of involvement with the SS. In front of a denazification panel, Adi and Kata testify about him. Rudi, from the other side of the table, testifies that Adi was the one who ran the weapons production. In February 1947, the panel finds in Adi's favor. Adi walks out cleared. Rudi walks out with a brother who has just given evidence against him. After that, there is nothing left to divide except the company.
In 1948, they divide it. Machines, leather stock, patents, and staff. Every employee in the factory has to stand in front of the two of them and choose a brother. Rudi takes his half across the river Aurach and sets up on the other bank. He calls the new company Ruda at first, then changes it to something better, Puma. Adi keeps the original factory, takes his own nickname and the first 3 letters of his surname, and registers Adidas. And then the town divides with them. And this is the part people don't believe. There were Adidas bakeries and Puma bakeries, Adidas pubs and Puma pubs. Children went to different schools. Marrying across the river was, for decades, a genuine scandal. Employees of one company would cross the street rather than pass employees of the other. Locals had a name for the place. They called it the town of bent necks, because before anyone said a word to you, they looked down at your feet to find out who you were. And in 1954, the two of them got handed a stage.
The World Cup, West Germany's first major tournament since the war, and the national coach, Sepp Herberger, needs boots. So he goes to both brothers. Rudi looks at the price and turns him down. He thinks it isn't worth it. Adi says yes. The 4th of July, 1954. Wankdorf Stadium, Bern. West Germany are playing Hungary, who have not lost a match in 31 games, and who beat the Germans 8-3 earlier in the same tournament. Nobody thinks this is a contest. Then it starts raining. Properly raining. And the pitch turns to mud. Adi Dassler is with the German squad, and the boots he has supplied take screw-in studs. At the break, the Germans fit longer ones. The Hungarians, in fixed studs, spend the second half slipping. West Germany win 3-2. A country that had been rubble 9 years earlier wins the World Cup, and the press calls it the miracle of Bern. Adi Dassler did not invent the screw-in stud. Other people had patented replaceable studs years earlier, and Puma had been selling a boot with them since 1952. What Adi did was have them on the right feet on the right afternoon and then build a legend on top of it that made Adidas a household name overnight. Rudi had said no to that game himself. He never got over it. They spent the rest of their lives fighting through their companies because they refused to do it in person. Puma answered Bern with marketing instead of engineering. In 1970, at the World Cup in Mexico, Pelé stopped just before kickoff in front of the cameras of the watching world and bent down to tie his Puma boots. It is still cited as one of the first deliberate acts of television product placement in sport. Rudolf Dassler died in 1974. Adolf Dassler died in 1978. Neither attended anything of the others. They never spoke again after 1948. 30 years. They're buried in the same cemetery in Herzogenaurach, at opposite ends of it, as far apart as the ground allows. Their children inherited it. Rudi's grandson told the BBC that when he was growing up, the word Adidas was simply not said in the house. And then, on the 21st of September 2009, 61 years after two brothers made every employee pick a side, staff from Adidas and staff from Puma walked onto a pitch in Herzogenaurach and played a friendly football match together. Neither brother lived to see it. Both of their companies are still headquartered in that town, about 2 miles apart. There's a story like this one every week. Subscribe if you want the next one.